Welcome to the Epcotian Adventure,
a podcast where we'll talk about all things Disney,
including tips and tricks, festivals and favorites, and the very latest in news and reviews.
But we're still old enough to remember when playing a game at Disney meant you had to have a quarter.
This is episode 47, Where in the Park Are We? Season 1 finale.
Or, the best way to bring Christmas cheer is playing games for all to hear.
So now, please remain seated, keeping your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the podcast as we embark on our Epcotian adventure.
"'Twas the episode before Christmas, and all through our house we can't stop ourselves from talking about a mouse.
The puppy's all snug on her warm winter blanket while we close out this season and hope we don't take it.
Yes, as you've guessed, we'll take a few weeks to ourselves. After all, this is hard. We don't have any elves.
One last Epcotian adventure to end 2023 and thank the Phoenicians for our ABCs.
From our fuzzy stitch slippers to our plaid mini ears, we wish you a Merry Christmas, and we'll see you in the new year."
Howdy, folks, and welcome to episode 47 of the Epcotian Adventure. I'm Rod.
And I'm Sue.
And this is the Season 1 finale. That's right, folks. Season 1 has been a long one, but it's going to come to a brief end. And we hope to be back in late January.
No, we will.
We will be back in late January.
But 47 episodes. I mean, if you're an Alias fan, you know page 47 was important. I mean, maybe this is a clue somewhere.
Do
or
we need to be
National
taking down
Treasure.
Numbers or
That was
Lost?
also page 47.
Interesting. Yeah.
Right? Have you kept track of all the numbers this season? I hope not, because that would be a waste of
That
your time.
would be a complete waste of time. Anyway, in this episode, we're going to be playing a brand new game. This game is very similar in nature to something like Pyramid or Password or Taboo. It's something we're just calling Where in the Park Are We?
we made it up.
So this would be something that you could do in a queue. So this is maybe another one of those what to do in a queue kind of things.
Yeah, or on your way there. It would be great for a road trip. You could play it anywhere.
Play it on an airplane.
Just sort of a Disney way to occupy your brain. We're also going to talk a little bit at the end about just sort of the season recap. We're going to,
what we've
wrap up
learned
the season a little bit, so stick around for that as well.
And even a little preview of what's coming in season 2.
Yes, indeed, that too. So let's start by playing a game, because it is Christmas time and we want to play some reindeer games.
Yep, so this is going to be Sue and I playing this game. It could be played with a team of 2, like we're doing. We're not really a team. It's individual versus individual. It could be done with 2 teams of 2 if you'd like. The way we're going to do this is each team, or each person in this case, has a list of locations inside the park. It needs to be a physical location or a show, so something like a ride or a show or a restaurant. Also, we decided not to use any character names.
So if you used Journey into Imagination, you want to get your person to say that, you wouldn't be able to say Figment. Or you wouldn't use the name of the pavilion, so you wouldn't say Imagination.
Right, exactly.
So you want to keep it a little bit obscure, but you want to keep it recognizable.
The idea is you have 3 single words that you're going to use to try to get the other person to guess the location. Now, if you're keeping score, you could give yourself or the other team 3 points for getting it on the first word, 2 points for the second, 1 for the last.
Or you could not keep score.
Or you could not keep score, right. We're not keeping score in this version.
So if we were doing Imagination, I might start with a more obscure reference, and I might say illusions.
Ooh, that's good.
Because there are some little magic trick sort of things that you see when you're doing the sight test.
That's a good point. Or you could say purple.
Yes.
Or spark.
Or skunk.
Or skunk.
So there are ways that you can lead them to thinking about it. Now, Rod and I tend to think a lot alike, so for that purpose, we are going to do at least 2 clues with each other, even if we know it on the first clue. We're going to, for the purpose of the game, so that you guys can play along, we're going to do at least two clues, and we'll tell you what the third one would have been if we don't get to that. And we might, who knows. And I should also say, we have not compared these. We plan to do 3 sets of this back and forth, but if we have repeating ones, which is possible we will. We do have some spares ready.
Yeah, I actually put down 7 different ones because I know us. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Ding, ding, round 1.
All right. You ready?
Yes.
First clue. Fireworks.
I think I know what it probably is. So I'm going to say restrooms. That's not right. Okay, so what's the second clue?
The second clue is plant.
Fireworks and plant. I thought this was going to be easier than this. Fireworks and plant. Okay, I'm going to need clue number 3.
All right. Clue number 3 is piñata.
Fireworks, plant, and piñata. That's got to be Plant Donald you're talking about. So you got to be talking about the Mexico Pavilion and Grand Fiesta Tour, where you're looking for Donald. And
¿Dónde está Donald?
¿Dónde está Donald?
You are correct.
That is a boat ride that's in the Mexico Pavilion, and it does not have a height requirement, and usually has a pretty short wait. It's a great place to go when it's nice and hot outside, or nice and cold outside, either way.
And even if there is a little bit of a wait, it moves really quick because they're loading boats, not single cars.
Yeah,
so.
like Pirates of the Caribbean, it's very high capacity.
So yes, that one.
Good one.
And the fireworks is a reference to the fireworks at the end. They show lights on the ceiling for fireworks. Plant was the famous Plant Donald when the Donald animatronic was broken. They replaced him with a literal plant with a sombrero. It was gold.
It was epic. It needs to be on shirts and pins and everything.
And piñata, there is a part in the attraction where Donald is a piñata getting hit by children.
That was a good one. That was good. That took me actually all 3. I did not get that on the first one.
I thought for sure you'd get it from Plant. I thought fireworks might throw you off, but it's still a good clue because they are a major part of that scene.
Yeah, I thought maybe it was going to be the new fireworks show, but no. You got me.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go on my side. The first clue is snow.
Okay.
Okay.
I have an idea of where we might be headed.
Okay.
Let's hear clue 2.
Clue number 2 is circle.
Circle. Snow and circle.
This is going to be a good one.
Oh. Is it Reflections of China?
No. The third one is Martin, and I just realized that this is no longer there, so I just broke the first rule. But let's go ahead and go with it. Snow, Circle, and Martin.
Well, then it's the Canada film.
It's Canada.
With Martin Short.
With Martin Short, which is no longer the current version that I just realized.
That is
seen that
cheating.
One so
Ladies and gentlemen, my brother the cheater.
I actually even wrote down Canada Far and Wide, and I just realized after I said the second clue that... Okay, well, we're referring to the last Circle Vision film at the Canada Pavilion and World Showcase.
So I did have the right idea.
You did.
I just picked one that is currently there.
Okay, so I failed at test number 1. All right. All right, let's go into round number 2.
That was good, though.
That was good. Okay.
I enjoyed that.
Round 2.
Okay. So the second one that we're going to do is going to be... Your first clue is answers.
Answers. I've got an idea, but give me clue number 2.
Clue number 2 is underwater.
Answers underwater. Oh, does this have to do with a turtle?
It just might.
This would be Turtle Talk with Crush inside the Seas with Nemo and Friends Pavilion in World Nature.
Yes.
At Epcot, yes.
All of these are at Epcot. One. We're only doing Epcot.
Why, yeah, that's true.
Your third clue would have been, dude. I think you would have gotten that.
I actually had the same one. My words were sea, actor, and dude.
Nice.
So, we think alike. Can you tell, brother and sister? That happens occasionally.
Oh, that's funny.
That's really fun.
So this is a really fun show that does take place in the Nemo and Sea, or what used to be Living Seas. It's now Nemo and Friends Seas Pavilion, I believe is what it's called.
Yeah, the Seas with Nemo and Friends. Yeah.
There you go. But you actually get to ask questions of Crush, and he will answer them for you in real time. It's really, really fun. He usually has some guest stars come in.
Yeah, Dory comes in sometimes.
Yeah, the whale, what's her name? Bailey?
Yes.
Bailey the whale comes in.
From Finding Dory.
Yeah, so it's a really fun, especially if you have little ones. This is, even for grown-ups, it's a cool experience. Rod, what's your number 2?
All right, my number 2, the first word is beverage.
beverage. Okay, I have a couple of thoughts here. All right, let's hear the second clue.
The second clue is hot.
Oh, okay. Now, I thought we might have been headed to Club Cool, but that would be the opposite of hot. Let's go ahead and hear the third one.
The third one is monorail.
Ooh, are we at the Joffrey's cart outside the park?
We are, yes.
Yay!
We're getting a shaky Jamaica.
Which usually is not hot. Shaky Jamaica is an iced beverage. And seasonally, I do love their hot lattes that they do. Especially, they always have a boozy option as well, which is a great way to start your day.
I love the day drinking. Just saying. Okay.
That was a good one.
Good
That was very good. I enjoyed that. And that was not one of mine, surprisingly.
Yeah, and there are other Joffrey's carts within the park.
Okay, so round 3.
Go for it.
All right. Your first clue is going to be spin.
Spin? This is the teacups ride that was going to be in the UK pavilion. No, that can't be it. That's not there. Ooh, give me clue number 2.
Family.
Spin and family. Ay. This is at Epcot?
It is at Epcot.
This is not the teacups at the Magic Kingdom or no Dumbo? No. Give me clue number 3.
Clue number 3 is stuffed.
Okay. Family, spin, and stuffed. Okay, you stumped me on this one. I'm just gonna say Guardians of the Galaxy.
That's a good guess. I thought you might go there with the spin. But I went a little out of the box here, and we're not doing a ride this time. This is a restaurant, and we are doing Garden Grill in the Land Pavilion.
Garden Grill. That was good. Those were good clues. Oh my gosh, that's really good.
It does
clues.
rotate, which is where the spin comes from. It rotates very, very slowly. Don't think Guardians of the Galaxy.
That'd be a little hard while you're eating.
They do feed you family style, so big, huge bowls of things coming to your table.
Stuffed. Yeah.
And stuffed. You will not leave hungry.
That was really good.
Why, thank you.
Good one on that. And you stumped me on that one.
I didn't think I'd stump you on any of these, so that was good.
Yeah, this location does breakfast, lunch, and dinner. It is a character meal. It's not a buffet. It's an all-you-can-eat or all-you-care-to-eat family style.
But it is a character, like Rod said, they're all dressed in cute little farmer clothes. And the lunch and dinner is like a Thanksgiving type meal. And they just recently picked up breakfast again, so we're not exactly sure what they do there, but it is the standard breakfast fare from what I've heard. And we've heard that the cinnamon bun things are really, really good, so we're going to have to go check those out one day. All right, here's my third round. The first clue is yellow. Yellow. Okay, my brain instantly went to submarines, so that's probably not right. I'm going to need another clue, please. Okay, number 2 is net. Net. Yellow net. I'll need a third clue, please. Okay, I think you're probably going to get it on this one. The third clue is bear. Yellow, net, and bear. Huh. Long pause. You smell bacon? I may have stumped you on this one. I think you might. Yellow and bear, all I can think of is Grizzly Rapids. Which is not at Epcot. It's not even on the right coast. And net makes me think of Muppet Vision because a net full of Jell-O. No, this was a literal net. I stumped you on this one. This would be a certain bear that's trying to catch butterflies in a net. Oh my goodness, of course, the Winnie the Pooh, not meet and greet because you don't meet him, but when he's out on the lawn behind Imagineering Pavilion and catching butterflies. Or trying to, at least. And it's Winnie the Pooh. Did we actually say that out loud? Yeah, the yellow bear is Winnie the Pooh. And oh my gosh, it's the cutest thing. This was a show that took the place of a meet and greet during the closure. And it has lasted all this time. And you can still find Pooh with his little butterfly net trying to catch imaginary butterflies between the Land Pavilion and the Imagination Pavilion. Those were great clues. I can't believe I didn't get that. My brain was going all over the place. That was a really good one. Do you have one more? I do. Let's go ahead and do one more. Yeah, I have 3 more. Well, let's do one more. Let's do one more. Okay. Your clue is bark. Bark. B-A-R-K. Huh. I'm thinking either a tree or a dog. And I don't know of any dogwood trees. So give me clue number 2. Number 2 is boat.
Bark and boat? Give me clue 3.
Clue number 3 is lettuce.
Oh, this would be Living with the Land in the Land Pavilion.
Yes, it would. It's one of our favorite attractions. Rod's personal favorite scene in this ride is the scene at the farmhouse where you see the little mailbox and you see the scarecrow, but you hear the dog barking.
The dog barking, the goat doing his thingy. Oh, I love that segment. I don't know why. It just is calming to me.
It is very relaxing, just homey.
And you can see it from the Garden Grill restaurant,
yes,
which we just talked about. Hey, look at that.
And you're in a boat, and you do get to see the lettuce, which usually has either Mickey heads with the different colors of lettuce, or right now it has the 100 for the 100 celebrations. So those were my clues.
Okay, this one is going to be a little off the grid. I'll just tell you now, this may be you're either going to get this one or you're not going to get this one.
Isn't that how they all are?
I think that's how they all are. Yeah. Okay, your first clue, potty.
Potty?
Mm-hmm. Potty. Potty.
Okay. Well, my first thought is the potty emergency from the Animaniacs episode, so that's probably not where you're going.
Potty emergency! Potty emergency!
It could be our favorite restrooms behind Imagineering.
Clue number 2 was hidden, and clue number 3 was best, and it, in fact, was the restrooms behind Imagineering. Okay, I told you a little off the grid there. It's not a show. It's not a ride. You do get to sit down, which is nice.
Well, that's
it's air
true.
conditioned, so it kind of could be. Well, anyway.
And there's music.
That's true. Well,
it's one of the few places in the park where you can still hear the original Epcot soundtrack.
Yeah, I love it. What it is on the right-hand side of the main entrance of Journey into Imagination with
Over
Figment.
by where Pooh was catching butterflies, by the way.
Within view of that. If you continue to the right along the path that is marked with really nothing, there's a restroom at the very end of the pathway around the corner, and you cannot see them from the park. They are the best hidden restrooms within Epcot.
It's true. There's never a line. There's never a wait. You just get right in, right out. And I almost hate to tell that secret, but we're not going to be gatekeepers. So now you know.
So that was our game. Hopefully you liked it. We have fun doing it.
I hope you got to play along.
Yeah, it's always fun to kind of play these games alongside of the person doing them. And we will do other versions of these for the other parks during Season 2. Season 2 will be coming up in January.
The very end of January is our goal. We started this on January 30th was our first episode this year of 2023. And we plan to do that same week for Season 2.
Yeah, January 29th of 2024 will be the beginning of season number 2, so that'll be our next episode really at this point. And we plan on starting off with, if you haven't been to Epcot in 10 years, you haven't been to Epcot. So come back and join us at that time for the beginning of season 2. But let's talk about what we've learned as brand new podcasters, really, with season 1.
Yeah, we went into this knowing literally nothing. We still kind of know nothing, but we're more comfortable with it. So, I mean, there's that.
Yeah. I mean, we really did get our start by watching other people do YouTube videos.
And I listen to a ton of podcasts. So, like, I know what I like to listen to. And we just kind of use that as our guide. So, I'm sure there's spots where we miss the mark and spots that we can improve. And part of our off season, we'll be going back and listening to some of these, seeing what we can do a little better. If you have ideas for us, tell us gently, but we'd love to hear it. But I think most of all, what we've learned from all of this is that we really enjoy doing it. So, I mean, if we're speaking to tens and tens of people, I mean, that's great. If you're listening, we so appreciate you. We'd love to know who you are. We'd love to know who's listening. So leave us a comment. Let us know where you're listening from. We just want to get to know y'all. So let us know where you're listening.
Yeah, just hit the like button. Subscribe to us on the social interwebs that are out there or YouTube.
And I really can't stress enough. I say it at the end of every single episode, but I cannot stress enough how much it means to us to have ratings and reviews. That's the only way that other people find us. That's how it gets clocked into that algorithm and bumped up the chain. So if you could take those 2 seconds and just leave a rating, it helps us out so much.
And I would like to give a big shout out to those people I know that do listen to us. So Bob from Missouri and Stephanie and Brian from California.
Liz in Pennsylvania, hey! And Brianne in Missouri.
And I also got to give a quick shout out to Colin, who is the reason we started talking about doing a podcast in the first place.
Thank you, Colin.
Thank you again so much and for the encouragement. And Catherine, well, she's a member of this team now, it seems like.
Rod, what's your favorite episode so far? Do you have a favorite?
My favorite episode to this day, I think, was our interview with Andy Hammer, an Imagineer who is, we'll say, he's a friend of ours.
Yeah.
But we had so much fun talking, and the interview that we did with Andy Apodaca.
That was
I learned
so fun.
a lot more about Disney language than I ever knew. And the interview we did with Steven from Galaxy's Edge. So those 3 interview ones are still, I think, my top ones.
Those are fun.
The ones with Catherine are always fun.
Yeah, it's so much fun to bring her into the loop. I love doing that. And the one where she interviewed us, that was fun too.
That was what we need to do more of those, actually. We should for the other parks, too. So,
yeah, for sure. Yeah, some of the episodes that are going to be coming up in season 2, we still have some must-do episodes to do for
Studios and Animal Kingdom and Disney Springs.
Yes. So definitely going to be doing those. We have some more this or that days planned. There's all kinds of stuff that's still coming down the pike.
For May 4th, we're going to be doing a Star Wars Galaxy's Edge episode again.
Yes, I want to do a deep dive into the Galaxy's Edge lore because, as you know, huge Star Wars nerd. So I think that'll be really fun. Huh. Looking forward to that.
Hard to tell sometimes.
I know, right?
Really. Sue, what were your favorite episodes then?
Yeah, well, the one with Andy Hammer, of course, is way up my list just because he's one of my favorite people on the entire planet and immensely talented, and the world needs to know who he is. So that one was way up on my list. But I also I love our ranking episodes. I like the ones where we rank random things. So one of my favorites was the one that we ranked the songs from attractions.
I was just going to say that, the music from the attractions. That was a fun one.
I loved that one. So anytime we're ranking snacks or rides or music or anything, I think those are so much fun.
Oh, that's awesome. So I think a couple other things we learned, was how do you have a logo?
Right.
We had no idea what to do with graphics.
But we handed it off to Evan. He cleaned it up for us. And now going into season 2, we're actually going to revamp it a little bit. Like you were saying, we're going to give it a little cleanup, a little spruce. So expect a new look in season 2, but it's going to have some familiar vibes to it. It's not going too far off the grid, but our nephew just happens to be an incredibly talented graphic designer, so we are putting him to work for that. So thank you, Evan. And I think you additionally found the theme music. Do you want to talk a little bit about that process?
Yeah, I looked through quite a few different places on the web trying to find places for, or sources for music, and just things that you could either pay for a license that didn't cost a ton of money, or that were license free. Well, Pond 5 ended up having quite a bit of a library of different types of music by theme. So I put in different things for Disney and Epcot, and sure enough, we found the one that you hear today from Jason Patrick Rowan, who is immensely talented.
We don't know him personally.
We don't.
Never met him. Would love to meet him. Love his stuff.
Thank you for everything you did for that piece. It's amazing. It is a much longer piece than you hear, but that section, when Sue and I first heard it, we're like, oh, that is so Epcot.
Yeah, like he found like 4 or 5 really, really good ones that we listened through, but when we heard the one that we ended up settling on, we both got chills. We were like, okay, that is the one. So we love our theme music. I still get excited every time I hear it.
And then the name of the podcast itself just kind of came out of one of our trips to Epcot. We got back and we were talking about the podcast. We're like, well, it needs to be Epcot centered. And we settled on it. We had a whole list of different names.
Oh my gosh, so many.
But
so many options.
We actually came up with Epcotian as a word. We had not yet seen the pre-show for Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind.
We've been using the term Epcotian for years.
Oh, forever.
We always say that we speak Epcotian because...
Or that is so Epcotian.
Right.
Stop trying to make Epcotian work.
That is so tinsel. So when we went to name the podcast, we wanted to work that in there because we knew that we wanted to be Epcot centered, even though we do talk about all things Disney. We don't talk about movies much.
Well, there hasn't been a lot to talk about.
Oh, that's true.
And we have seen Wish.
We did.
It was a movie.
I did not hate it.
I didn't hate it.
I thought it was cute. I loved all the nods to the other films, but it seemed like the best part of the film was the nods to the other films.
Yeah.
But it wasn't bad.
Didn't hit the mark, but anyway.
Well, and we did just add something. If you've been paying attention, you might have heard something added to our finale or to our closing speech that Rod does every episode, and that is being a proud gold member of D23. So that is a recent addition. We got that for each other for Christmas.
We will be covering the D23 convention in Anaheim next August as well as one of our episodes.
If you're going to be there, let us know. We'd love to hook up.
Yay!
Say hey. So that's kind of where in the park we are right now. We are looking forward to season 2. We hope you'll be joining us. And if you have a favorite episode from season 1, let us know. Something you'd like to see in season 2, let us know. We just want to hear from you.
Anyway, folks, thank you again for listening to us. This is the Epcotian Adventure. Yes, it's Epcotian, not Epcotian. Don't believe everything the Xandarians tell you.
They don't know what they're talking about.
They really don't. But before we go, we'd like to give a big thank you to our social media coordinator, Riley Piper, audio engineers Joey Humphrey and Paul Trett, logo designer Evan Piper, and our theme music composer Jason Patrick Rowan, whose music is licensed through Pond 5. And of course, thank you, Phoenician.
Thank you, Phoenicians. And don't forget to rate, review, like, and subscribe. It really does help other people find us. You can find us on social media on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube, and wherever you listen to podcasts.
The Epcotian Adventure is a $1,000 brunch production and a proud gold member of D23. Thanks for joining us today for episode 47 of the Epcotian Adventure. I'm Rod.
And I'm Sue.
And we'll see you in line, and we'll see you next season.
See you next season. Bye.
We're just going to start in with location-based locations with location names of the location.
Right.
Right.
For locator purposes.
Exactly.